getting his education, but I'm sure when he graduates, he'll have a job. And I told him, if you want to start a company, don't come to me. I'm expensive. I'll want a royalty. Go out there and raise some dough and come to me later for second round financing or something. Because I really think, you know, that's the whole point of helping, you know, having everything taken care of from birth to last name. College is a good deal for anybody. Yeah. But I'm not giving them a de-risked life. And I think that's another, you know, issue you have to deal with. And so that money will sit in trust and just roll on and long after I'm gone and do whatever it does. I won't care. I'll be dead.
Let's talk about the F word. Let's talk about failure.
Yeah.
A lot of people try to avoid it at all costs. We've talked a little bit about your experience and how you know, the only way you got intuition or wisdom was through making mistakes, it sounds like. What can you identify as maybe one of your greatest failures that you got wrong in order to get something right? In other words, it was a huge lesson, a turning point.
Well, I had a deal that I'd invested millions in. It was one of my ideas, and they don't always work. That's just the nature. This had to do with multiplayer online gaming, and I won't mention which telco it was, but a very, very large telco I was dealing with at the CEO level, and we were going to roll this thing out. You know, the great thing.
You're listening to Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice.
That house in Rankin County by the Goon Squad, but what happened with the Goon Squad was they ran into the wrong group of brothers, and they ran into the wrong attorneys. And that's what I'm coming to you today in this short talk to you is to don't get so caught up or stressed out about the Democratic Party or caught up or stressed out about the Republican Party. I want us to recognize the inherent value of what God has given us. Self-determination and black nationalism.
Black power.
Pan-Africanism. And black power.
Black power.
And I'm here to tell you that whatever's going on in this world today, that we are the hope and the light of the black community, and it is no time to turn away right now. It's time to close ranks.
Come on.
And unite our forces together, because our people are going to need us now more than ever.
That's right.
And so when we got on the attack in Mississippi, that was something that these white racist rogue police gangs did not expect. Our level of intensity, our level of ferocity, our level of organizing and dedication to the cause, and ultimately these 6 white cops got a total of 132 years in prison.
All praise.
132 years.
All praise.
One of the devils got 40, another devil got 37, another devil had 20-something. All of it totaled 132 years. I mean, and they were hurt. I mean, if you would have been inside of the federal courthouse or the state courthouse and seen them snotting and crying. Literally snotting and crying because they got caught. Not because they were sorry, because they got caught.
Take it over.
And this sentence of 132 years was given by a Mississippi judge, Thomas Lee, who's not a Democrat. This is Mississippi now. That's right. This solid Donald Trump territory, Mississippi. And so when they came before this judge, their attorneys were arguing with them, were bringing cases where a man had killed another man, a police officer killed a man, he was 9 months, and police officer killed a man, well, he only got a year and a half, but God was with us. There's a higher force with us. And that judge wiped all of that out and went with all our petitions, our letters, and everything that we came with, the force and the power of God, and more also, which we'll get into. But what happened was God met the devil. God met the devil. And 132 years is behind bars for some of these most cold-blooded, can't even do these pigs. They attack your rectum. Pardon my language. They attack your rectum. They attack your dignity. They attack your humanity. Everything that you can think about a police officer would do, they do in this case. Plant evidence, plant guns, plant dope, all of that. The chickens came home to roost. Now, but there's no place like home, right? Mississippi, Brother Akbar and I, we've been all over the country. We're all over the world, right? But, you know, on July 30th, on Nelson Place in Southeast Washington, D.C., 3 black girls got shot. And they got shot on a block that I own or control property on that block and run a business on that block. And I said to myself, you know, Malik, I say, you know, you talking black empowerment and you advocating for it and organizing for it all over the country. But what about right here at home where you live at, brother? You got a good history here in Howard University and good advocacy here. I say, but what about not only at home, what about right here on this block, brother? Well, you operate here on this block. Your block is in chaos. Your block is in threat. The jobs that you provide for black people, which I do, is threatened by chaos here in our own neighborhood. So I said, charity begins at home, and it's time for it'd be hypocritical actually to fight everywhere else. And right underneath your feet and your base is not an example of where we're supposed to be. So we had the reparations convention, and one way or another in these meetings and these sessions that we're having, these unity sessions, we're on the road to reparations.
Yes, sir.
We're assuming here by you coming in the door that you are automatically for full and complete reparations. Is that right?
That's right.
Raise your black fist high if you're for full and complete reparations. All right. Now here, we're talking self-determination.
Right.
Which is to me another code word for black nationalism.
Yes, sir.
Black people owning, controlling, and taking full command of every aspect of our lives. That's the core of what we're getting at here. And so Minister Muhammad has laid a great base because he's talked about the principles that we're working on here today. Unity. And all of them, we have some of the strongest black men and leaders here in this area, but we haven't had the kind of unity that can solve the problem that you heard about coming from this rostrum. But tonight I'm getting the vibe, I'm getting the energy and the feeling that something is about to change.
Go ahead.
When you see the strongest men in this city coming together, that means that a black men's movement is coming about that's going to make some change.
Yes, sir.
There and sisters too, but I'm going to speak about men, probably more sisters, because we have to catch up. Okay? You all are suffering. The children are suffering, and you're looking for a man. Is that right?
Right.
According to what I see in the black neighborhood, in the black community, you're looking for a man to take a stand. Okay? And so here, we are men. And we're in an environment right now that's forcing us to be men. I'll drop this real quick, and then we'll open. We have a presidential election going on. We have the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And the operative rule here that we have been taught, we've been taught by Dr. Khalid Mohammed, and we've been taught by reality. Democratic Party or Republican Party, we're not even invited to the party. And it ain't that kind of party. We have been taught the teaching, Satan, Lucifer, the devil, or Beelzebub, either way, which one you vote for, you're going to end up in hell. We have also bear witness, and we can't change the teachings. The teachings can't change because the truth remains the same. We have been taught that America is a modern-day Babylon. Is that right?
Yes, we have.
We have been taught that America is a modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah.
That's real.
If you don't believe that America is a modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah, you ride around the district for a little while, and you'll know that this is a modern Sodom and Gomorrah. We have been taught that America is slated for divine judgment and divine chastisement for the treatment of its former slaves. Now, let's look at the election we're coming in to see whether the selection in the election changes that equation.
Good teacher.
Now, you had two candidates here that were both bred dissatisfaction amongst the masses, black and white. Donald Trump and Joe Biden. According to the polls, only 37% of the population even approved of the two candidates. Or it might have been the 37% of the Democrats only approved of their candidate. But many people say they didn't approve of any candidate. Well, hell, that sounds like us. Hell, we didn't like either one of them, right?
Think it over.
You weren't out for no Joe Biden. Well, I know some Trump, might be a few Trumpites in here. There's some black Muslim Trumpites out there. They pop up on that internet now and then. There's some black nationalist Trumpites out there. There's some red, black, and green kufi wearing, hotep talking Donald Trump MAGA backers out there on that Instagram and on that Facebook. And every time you say something against Trump, they pop right on up. Is that right?
That's right.
That shows, but as we analyze that factor of the black Trumpites, we said they're dissatisfied with the Democratic Party. That's the reason this demon. He went on the Black Journalist show and said that he had done more for black people than any U.S. president. Well, he might have a point because all of the president's track records have been shaky or weak when it comes to black people.
That's right. True.
But damn it, what did he do? I couldn't figure that out. So now the Democrats, right? They dump old Biden and flip the script and change the equation. Here come out of the blue, or the black and blue, is Kamala Harris. That throws a monkey wrench in your game and a monkey wrench in your analysis. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I'm coming down the lane to self-determination, but you got to understand where we at. Where our people's minds are going to be focused for the next several months and where their mentality is, and to see if us as liberators, which path are we going to take? Because the horse is going to throw the rider, right? Democratic horse or Republican horse, at some point, they're going to throw you black people off. Once the dancing and the boogalooing and the what's the Rick rapper name? What's the sis name? No, the other one. Come on, I know it.
Nicki Minaj.
Megan. Once Megan Thee Stallion get through shaking and they get through twerking and boogieing and all that, the horse don't throw the rider.
Teach.
And the question is we as liberators, are we going to be here in place for backup?
Good question.
Okay, now let's go to this, because let's talk about this election for a second, because we're striving for unity, right? And if a black woman or is called a black woman, because I know it's a certain percentage of people out there say, she ain't no black woman. She ain't no black woman. Well, we'll get into that. They say she ain't no black woman, but for the sake of this argument, we will have to say that she is a black woman because them black women is out there identifying with her and supporting her.
Right.
Even though you super conscious black woman, African woman here may not identify with her, the masses of your sisters are not only identified with her, they have gone buck wild with excitement. Is that right?
That's right.
I mean, these are just facts on the table. Don't get me wrong. Don't try to cut what I'm saying. This ain't no endorsement. My candidate was and is Dr. Cornel West. That's my candidate. Dr. West has stood with the Afro-descendant nation. He's stood with black lawyers for justice in Mississippi. Right. He stood against the genocide in Gaza. He stands for what's right. And so I'm with Dr. West, right?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Analyze this election. Because, Brother Minister Najee, the whole black nation consists of all 40 to 50 million of us. That's the whole black nation. That's what Marcus Garvey is fighting for, all of us. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad fighting for, all of us. Colin Muhammad, all of our leaders fought for all of us, right?
Teach.
Well, guess what? A whole block of all of us are solid Democrats.
Something to think about.
Whether we like it or not, a whole block of us are solid Democrats. Some Republicans, some independent. I'm a registered independent. So the question here is, are we going to fight and kill each other over the candidacy of Kamala Harris in the black community? Okay, that's what I think I'm trying to get at. Now let me just cover a couple of points on that. Black. They say, well, she not black. Well, now what is black? What is black? If you say you're a foundational black American, you're saying that you only recognize the black that was born in America, and that's your criterion for black, that you got to be born in America. Is that right? And there are many growing out there like that. They don't want to hear about no black man from Jamaica. They don't want to hear about no black man named Nkrumah for Ghana. They don't want to hear about no black man from Honduras. They say, Negro, if you ain't born in Chicago and your mama wasn't born in Chicago or Mississippi, you ain't no foundational black America and you ain't like us. They not like us.
Think about it.
They not like us, right? Now, I don't know if I ascribe to that, but I kind of get the vibe on that because we speak Africa for the Africans at home and abroad. We can't talk about necessarily freeing black people elsewhere and we haven't freed ourselves, right? We can't say we're going to get reparations for everybody else and we haven't got it for ourselves, right? So we understand first things first, right? However, this theory is twisted. It's a twisted theory. Because if we were to accept the limited definition of black, then we would have to reject the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We would have to say he wasn't born here. He was born in August the 17th, 1887 in St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica, and because he wasn't born here, he not like us.
Think it over.
He not like us. We don't accept that, do we?
No, sir.
Black is universal. These little borders that have been carved out by the colonial white man cannot be used to define or divide us. All right? So I don't necessarily buy the argument, me personally. that she's not black. We get into the politics. This is not an endorsement. This is an analysis of thinking. I don't necessarily buy into that she's not black because her father is a black Jamaican. I got the photo. Her father's a black Jamaican. Her mother is a dark-skinned Indian from India. Well, you say, well, that's not like us. And I say, just hold the phone on that for a minute. Black is universal. Black is the essence and origin of all life. Dr. Runoko Rashidi, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, all the greats have taught us that across 196,940,000 square miles all over the planet Earth, that we are the original people. Okay, so if you go into what they call the subcontinent of India, you will find the original people there are black,
Right?
blue black, purple black.
Untouchable.
One of the main figures, divine figures or godlike figures in India, in their religious practices is Krishna. Krishna in India is a black god. Krishna means black and blue black. But if you Google Krishna on the Google, the first thing you're going to come up with is a whole lot of white, powder blue representations of the black divine figure Krishna, because it's been whitewashed. But when you go back to the origin of that, you will see that the original Indians and all, they black folks. And so I don't say that her mama not a black woman, because she's a melanated black woman to me, just from another part of the planet.
Yes, right.
We are from the mountains of the moon. We are the African black man. And it is no lie that we are also the Asiatic black man and woman. There's deep meaning to that. Okay, so I don't, but others do, will knock her off the ballot because she's black. Say she's not black, they knock her off the ballot. I don't knock her off the ballot for that. I would say this is something just for us to look at. It's Democratic Party politics. It's probably not going to change too much. Both of them, both parties, to be frank, both parties and any president that occupies the White House, they are going to be, pardon me, they are going to be the whores for the state of Israel. You understand that? Pardon me, ladies, for saying this, but all of them are going to bow. When Netanyahu get here, he letting them know who the boss is. They won't meet you here, but they're going to meet you there. They say they're going to duck you over here, but they're going to embrace you over there. And so nothing is likely to strongly change in terms of the things that I care about. I care about genocide. If you even halfway cooperating or participating in genocide, I can't get with you. I can't get with you. However, our people is into this, right? Black women is fired up and black people are fired up. I mean, my whole family's fired up. I have to hang up the damn phone. You know, damn Kamala Harris rally? Goodbye. But I'm not against her. I got to be honest with you. It's not even politically wise for me, maybe you, it ain't even politically wise for me to try to be involved in organizing a movement and to go against Kamala Harris. She's a Howard University alumni. Ain't you? You got me. You got part of me right there, because it's true. At Howard University, we do produce greatness. We do produce many of the black doctors and lawyers and greats in society. They come right up out of here in Banneker City at Howard University. Okay. Right. However, what we're trying to deal with here, brothers and sisters, is a phenomenon now. caught up into Americanism.
Right.
Are you hip to this? You don't want to get swept up here in this time, in this election, into the false belief that America is going to change, that the nature of this system is going to change, that this country is going to change, and this government going to change, and that your true solution from Marcus Garvey, Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, and all of our other greats down the wheel of time, all of them were true and correct, and no new phenomenon, no new candidate can change that reality. Yeah, but these are signs in the air. What signs are they? It's signs that in you, black woman, that there's great attraction in you. That's what's going on right now. There's something going on out here. There's something going on to let you know that you as a black woman, that you have a great attractiveness in the universe. We as a people are God's chosen people. There's a great attractiveness out here for us, and that's why we rise. The whole planet constantly looking at us. 13% of the population here in America, the whole planet constantly looking at us. We are the future world rulers of this planet. All the signs are around us. You can see it on the court. You see it in politics. You see it in entertainment. You give it a chance, you'll see it in academics. We are the future world rulers, and our time is on the way. The excitement around Kamala Harris is just another sign about who you really are. The white man can't even find his way out of this. He's looking for a black woman to try to help him get out. He can't even find his way out. He's looking, now he'll show you what bad shape he's in. He's down and depressed. Here come a black one, hey! These are signs. Let me come here. Let me come here. So I'll just say my piece of advice is don't fight and kill one another over the election. If we have a difference of opinion, it's no problem to have a difference of opinion, but we can't fight and kill our family members, fight and kill our brothers and sisters, and get down to arguing about who, Trump or Harris, because it's not worth us destroying, fighting, and killing each other. Here we come to my end. So right down here now, we coming back home, all these, right back here, back home. You're in this room tonight because you're not bound to the Democratic Party. You're not bound to the Republican Party. You believe in this black thing. And now we come here to talk with these strong men and these wise leaders and to convene these meetings because we believe in this area we can bring black power, black nationalism, self-determination to this area. And in this area, we set an example to the whole nation. It sounded like we just talking some months ago. Now it look like we moving into reality. We are to set an example. We in this area are no joke. I want you to understand, I've been all over the country, and the Africans here, or the black brothers and sisters here in this area, you don't hold second to nobody anywhere in the United States of America in terms of who you are and what you can represent. Don't hold your head down to nobody in no part of the country. You are the mighty Washington, D.C. area, black man and black woman. You are nobody's joke.
That's right, sir.
You ain't no joke. You ain't no sideline and no afterthought. You're in a national city and you are international people. We are in a few little cities. We're internationally connected. We are internationally connected. There are brothers and sisters who are sitting here in this audience that are internationally connected. We are nationally connected. We're nationally connected. This is not just merely the DMV. We are nationally and internationally connected, but Imam Ali, it's all hypocrisy unless it takes root on the ground. And so This past week, when them girls were shot on Nelson Place, on the 2900 block of Nelson Place, I said that's the last straw of this chaos going on in our community here. And I said the number one target here is this damn liquor store at the corner, oh no good O'Connor's liquor store. Because the liquor store right here on Minnesota Avenue and Nelson Place is the attraction point for everything that the Imam said. Imam said, if you want to do this kind of dirt, meet me at the liquor store. That kind of dirt, meet me at the liquor store. And at this O'Connor's liquor store, which is, the building is owned by a Korean named Han, and is ran by some Indians. Now, even though I had something positive to say about the original Indians being black, there are some other kind of Indians that's up in here that don't give a damn about black.
Teach!
Don't get it twisted. We can be socialist and recognize Vietnam and China and all of that, and I'm part of all that. Mao Zedong, Ho Chi Minh, and all of them. But there's another kind of Korean up in here, and he ain't no revolutionary Korean.
Right.
Okay, so we set our sights. So we said, and at least I said, that the liquor store got to go. The liquor store got to go. Right. They say, well, what is the connection with the liquor store and the killings? And so I had to break all this down, instead break all of the things that happened, the blight, the crime, and still say the liquor store got to go regardless. Right. There's too many damn liquor stores in residential neighborhoods in the black community.
Right, sir.
Hey, hell is this? You driving down a block with kids and elders, and right here in the middle of a residential block is a liquor store right here. 2 blocks over is another liquor store here, and a liquor store here. The white man don't tolerate that.
Right.
You drive to Georgetown, you got to go to a special section and shopping center to go and access a liquor store. They throw that in the black community because we accept it. They suck our blood in the black community because we lay down and allow them to suck our blood.
Yes,
so we have thrown down the gauntlet on the 2900 block of Nelson Place. Last week, we shut them down.
Yes, sir.
Last week, we shut them down. All right, say food is done in 5 minutes, and let's give Brother Baruch a hand. Buy everything. Buy everything we can buy here. Buy every piece of healthy and veggie food we can find. He'll tell you why in a few minutes. Because this is an example of black power.
Right.
Okay? And it ties into what we're doing. We want the liquor store out, and we want a healthy black restaurant and community center in its place, and we ain't backing down.
Right. Good teacher.
We throwing down on the block and establishing a base for operations in Southeast DC. No, we demand, will shut down, campaign, throw down, long term. It might take a couple months, 2-3 months. The liquor store will not be open in my neighborhood. Now I'm ready to get down on that.
Right.
And it's got to be replaced by a restaurant. It's got to be replaced by like a community center up top.
Go ahead.
The white man building all this stuff in our community. Ain't nobody even living in it. In Washington, D.C., just building for damn tax and investment reasons. No, we want the block back, and we're going to raise hell until we get it back.
Right.
Okay, that's point one. That's point one. We also want to say, I'm coming out of here, we also are saying here that on this block of the 2900 block of Nelson Place, that we are formally changing the name of the streets.
Right.
Yeah, we are formally changing the name. The name is bad. The name is filled with death and killings over all the years, and killing and murder. No, we're changing it. The name of the block is going to be changed to Marcus Garvey Way.
No problem.
With your permission. Marcus Garvey Way. We got all the paperwork and the forms, and we formed a block association. Here's one of the leaders of the block association, the Honorable Leon Woods.
That's right.
The Honorable Leon Woods. Couldn't be a tougher man. Here's one of the leaders of the association, Brother Yahuru. He's been on the line.
That's right.
They keep calling and calling. What can we do? What can we do to head this off? What can we do to stop it? I tell them all the time. What I tell you? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing's gonna stop it. What you can do is tell him to sell that damn building, and then you, the city of Washington, D.C., you owe us reparations. You make him sell it, then you buy it for us and get the hell out of the way. Okay? Let him sell it. You give us some of this gentrified development cash that you're ripping the people off with, and you help us get it, then get out of the way and let us feed our people and teach our people and heal our people. That's the vision. On the block right now, starting on August 17th, we are opening up the Black Community Resource Center and the Black Man's Development Center.
Go ahead.
Right on the block. There's another great man in this city who had the Black Man's Development Center. Senghor known, General Hassan, another great here. We probably have to do this in his name. But on the block right now, on 2917 Nelson Place, unit number 3, we're opening up the community center in the block to achieve all these goals.
Right.
Okay, to achieve all these. We're cleaning up the block. We clean up the block, clean up the trash, recruiting the men. But we're not just saying liquor store only. These men, we are going to establish, computer training on the block.
Go ahead.
Literacy training on the block.
Right, sir.
GED qualification on the block. We are setting up right now as we speak home improvement and vocational training and internship for Black kids and youth that need to learn painting, drywalling, goddamn concrete, and electricity, Brother Ross, and plumbing. All of this is in motion right now, setting up the offices. Because you can't just come in the hood saying clear out and not offering nothing.
That's right.
So I just want to let you know on August 17th that we hope to have Minister Najee Muhammad teaching down here on Nelson Place, Marcus Garvey Way.
Right.
Muhammad is going to be the block minister. The block minister, black block minister. And over a series of weeks, he's going to wake the block up with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as given to him by Honorable Silas Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
And so I just saying this, that on Saturday, we back again. If y'all want to get down, at Saturday at 5 o'clock, we throwing down on O'Connor's Liquor. And we're going to shut the doors. And right now, everywhere, signs and leaflets and the propaganda is everywhere going, letting them know that its time is up. And we're moving on them again on Saturday at 5 o'clock.
Right.
And for all Black men that want to come out and see some other strong Black men and be with us taking charge in the community, join us.
That's right. Black
Imam Ali.
That's right.
You said you wanted 60 men, right? You said when you can snap your fingers and get 60 men, that's when you say you going where you want to go, right? Okay, well, we working with you, brother. We saying here that every Black man, I'm hoping we got the sign-in sheet today, right? We got everybody signed in here. Yeah, we're pushing here for a black men's movement. From throughout the region, a black men's movement. A black men's movement of mentors. A black men movement of economists. A black men movement of community activists, a black men movement of contractors, a black men's movement of organizers, defense trainers, and teachers that are going to go after our people. This is not talk, this is real, and the possibility of it is right here in this room.
Yes, sir.
The purpose of our meetings here is for us to come into a shared space where when you bring something, you can get something. Like you came in here and you sharing with us, Brother Imam Ali and Brother Single, you sharing with us? Well, guess what? Everything we got is yours also. You say when you running your schedule about what you need, we ain't got no choice but to find a way to get out there with you. And you've been out there with us. Same thing with you. Same thing with you. We have to unite, and we are united. And we are taking action. Because regardless to what the Democratic Party does or the Republican Party does, that's not going to solve the problems that we're facing right here in the community. Right. If Miss Kamala Harris become president overnight, that is not going to stop the killing, death, and destruction inside of the black community. It is not going to stop the miseducation and all of the problems that we complain about. We are the ones that shall solve our problems. Right. We can do it in this region. We have the leadership here to do it. And I'm humbly here just to say I'm happy to help facilitate being a part of it. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you. And we take some questions. We come on and drop. Now, yeah. Come on down, Senghor. Brother Ali, y'all come down. We're going to do the questions together. Come on down. Whoever spoke, Imam, get you a seat. I want y'all to see something here. Is that all right?
Yes, sir, it's fine. Is it sticking up?
Okay, we'll get it. We got it. Come on, I want all the leaders here who spoke to come together. They spoke today because we're trying to make a point here.
Yes, sir.
While they're coming together, we got another quick performance, and then we're going to get into this session here. I also want to say, but I have to talk with Imam Ali about this. Now, if I had it my way, Minnesota Avenue in Washington, D.C. would be renamed Elijah Muhammad Boulevard.
How you doing? Hey, Sister Wilma, how are you doing?
All right.
You get me to go home?
If I had it my way, it would be renamed Elijah Muhammad Boulevard because Minnesota Avenue is associated with death. You can't help but read and try to figure out what Elijah Muhammad Boulevard means, and immediately some kind of light is going to come to your head. We're taking action in our communities. That's what we're doing here. We're taking legal action, cultural action, spiritual action. We're taking action. Hi, Ms. Wilma. You got to love you.
That's right, Sister Wilma.
Bless you. We got it. We're going to do this monthly, and we got a lot. Just sign. I'll get in touch with you. We on the move.
That's Sister Wilma, y'all. She's a long time.
Sister Wilma, one of our elders. Okay, come on, we want y'all, we're going to engage with each other, but who's coming up now, man? Sister Samaya. Okay, where is she? There, come on.
Okay.
We're moving into our cultural segment. We have a guest of Minister Yahudu, Sister Samaya. She's going to bless us with one song. Celestia, put your hand together for her. I want to say thank you to everybody here today. I think it's beautiful what we're all here gathered for. So, the song that we're going to sing is "Fight for You" from Judas and the Black Messiah, the movie.
All right, so I'm looking at it.
There's no one like you. When there's no sin, we gon' see it through. I'm gonna always fight for you. I'm gonna always fight for you.
All right. Gotta throw some rhythm up in here. All right. I'll give her another round of applause. Okay, I want you to talk. We want to talk with each other now and talk with our panelists. What does Dr. Baruch want to do with the food? How does he want us to handle it? Minister Najee, I think you should come down. Come on down, sir. How does he want us to handle the food?
Food is done at 9. It's done. I had to set my staff.
Okay, so what do you want us to do?
Is it 9 o'clock? Yes, sir. Real good. I mean, if we wanted to take a break and come back, we can do it now. I can hold it. We want to do it right now.
Okay, y'all coming right back, right? If you're gonna buy some food, which we suggest, if we buy some food, suggest, let's try to grab it now, and then others stay close attention as we open up our session. But we want to support. We want to support the restaurant, and we want to support the idea of eating right. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, none of this means anything when we eating a bunch of garbage and killing ourselves. Okay, Brother Baruch. He'll come back and say something. He must say something. He's leading by example. All right, so let me, okay, so who got questions? Right, go right ahead, Bob.
Is that we become aware, extremely aware, that your Savior is in your behavior. Ain't nobody coming. If they were, they'd have been here already. And if there were good white people, they would have done something better what the hell they've done up to this point.
All right, well, let me try. That's a good statement. Let me try to get out and ask these experts. These are some experts here. Brother Senghor, you've been around. You've been a legend here in the Banneker City area and organizing for a long time. You heard these messages tonight. Do you think that is there hope, brother? Is there hope?
Absolutely. Anytime one or two of us are together, and it's more than one or two of us, there's always hope. Particularly, as I said earlier, if you know your calling, if you know what you've been called, you know what you were called for, because you just wasn't born.
That's right.
You know, you came from 2, thanks to the blessing of the Most High, but those 2 came from 4, those 4 came from 8. So when you learn your cosmic assignment, you got to go to work.
That's right.
All of us up here have shared with you all, but like I said, it ain't about me, he, or she. It's about we, collectivity. And that's the only thing. We got everything we need, but the collective power to go against the Urugu. Right. So we don't just not call for unity. So what I heard tonight is impressive. You know, for those that don't know, I represent Africans around the world. Yes. And there are more of us in South America in the Western Hemisphere than in North America. But the problem is their main language is Portuguese, and North America houses English. But that's changing because we're beginning to learn from each other. Yes, sir. But the majority of us are on the eastern part of the world. And that is where the major masses are. Malik, you said, Malik, don't leave. You said something tonight that's super important. Yes, you said that the DMV was a golden area for black people. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. I've traveled the world. I've been around Africa, Brazil. There's nowhere like the DMV in terms of the diversity that exists in the DMV. That's Howard University is key. But not only Howard University, all over the DMV. We talk about Maryland, Virginia, and DC. So what I saw tonight is not only a positive call, thanks to the call for the Afro-descendant nation and Salas Muhammad and Brother Malik Shabazz, but I saw the call answered by those of us who came. That's right. I heard you say something was very important. You said this land right here did not belong to Urugu. And y'all know who Urugu is, right? Uh-huh. Okay. And Urugu is a good explanation for defining their negativity. I'm going to pass the mic, but you said something important. You said this land right here was us. That's a fact. Indigenous people lived all over the world in peace and harmony long before Urugu came, however he came or she came into existence. So I saw quite a bit tonight. And as I said earlier, this Black August this African Heritage Month, and to our brothers and sisters in the UK, you gotta watch that too, y'all. If you don't know what's going on in the UK, Yoruba is going buck wild over there and jumping on black people. That's right. In various parts. So you gotta understand the fear that's happening with Yoruba is now striking out to try to block us from our rise. Oh, we are striking back. This tonight is a strike back. That's what I'm saying, Malik. So this is a strike back. Because what y'all don't know is E-Life, Baruch, don't go far. I'm ready to speak on you. What y'all don't know is Bo Baruch and about 50 to 60 brothers from around the world, who are dealing with business, setting the stage. They're politically conscious, but they're not dealing with politics. They're dealing with action. He happens to be one of those brothers, and I know because Brother Haru Ata, who's still his place up. So what I am saying is there's a quiet storm building, just like what Brother Malik was saying. We got to concentrate on self-reliance, self-determination.
That's right.
Never depend upon your enemy to do anything for you, but we got every right to demand what they took from us.
That's right.
Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
But like I said, I'm not just coming at them. I'm coming at Africa too for reparations. Y'all got it, and that's another story because the resources that exist in Africa are huge.
Come on, let's give him a black hand. That's a wise man. I'm coming down the line here. I'm going to ask Minister Najee Muhammad. Minister Muhammad, you gave a strong message of unity tonight. Are you encouraged? Are you encouraged by tonight?
Yes, sir. Stand just here for a second. Go ahead.
I am encouraged by my people tonight, but I would like for you in the next meeting that we have, bring someone with you so that we can lock arms. That's right. We should be so close that wind cannot blow between us.
Yes, sir.
I am serious. This is not a game. We are the hope for our people. If we don't stand up in this day and time, Katie barred the door. It's over.
Let it be.
But you are here is a sign that you are not going to allow our people to be eliminated.
That's right.
Our ancestors knew that one day in the future, that their descendants, us, would stand up in the earth and demand justice for our people. Not go to the United States government, but take them before the world. You saw what South Africa did, right? South Africa stood up for the Palestinians. And they went to the UN, right? And that's something that we got to do. We got to take our case to the world.
That's right.
I know some of our people have doubt. Our people had doubt during plantation slavery. But lo and behold, in 1865, they were able to come off the planet, right? Off of the plantation, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get it.
Right.
We're going to get it. We're going to be successful. But we need unity, your unity. So in the next meeting, bring someone with you. And we'll have more information to share with you that the Honorable Silas Muhammad will be given. Thank you.
All right. We're coming to you. We're coming here. We're coming here. I see Marvell in the back. Gentlemen here. Okay, we're coming to everybody. And I'm gonna ask you a question. Then you guys can field the next answers. I gotta ask you a question here.
Yes, sir.
This young brother here he's out here putting it down. Trust me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Down on the streets. What have you learned since you started with the reparations convention, and then you've been working with me? Yes, sir. And you know that. I know some nights he said, "What have I got into?"
He's a hard driver. He's like thinking that I'm with Dr. Collie. He's a hard driver. That's what it is. And when it comes to discipline and talking about fun stuff, he's a hard line driver, right? Is that what you're right?
Yeah, I know. But let me say this to you. Tell us, what have you learned over these past 3 months? Because, you know, we coming to a certain point here.
Yes, sir.
We're coming to a point here where we had our convention and we said we were going to follow up in our community. And here we are. What have you learned by working all of these posts that you've been working?
Thank you for that question, beloved. I do want to acknowledge mentors, Dr. Beverly Wallace. She's been working on social kids, and she's still doing the work with Brother Peter Jones and Paul Thompson. But what I've learned there, brother, is that you can't give up. It's like when you're training, when you're playing football, you got to practice in the rain and in the mud. You got to practice all year round. And this big word, reparations, has been a chemical infusion to me, because like Brother Singboy Baye said, you just gotta have African in your blood to just fight in spite of. What I've learned is people like somebody said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," and that was what Sonia Massey did. And all of a sudden, you know, the light bulb just went off. It's like, wait a minute, we can't have this. We can't have no strong black men staying line by line. And that's what I learned from Dr. Malik Zulu Shabazz. He had us in like single file line saying, "Stop the killing." He's telling our own black men and women to stop the killing. Once we do that, then everything else changes.
That's right.
All right, we appreciate you. Down the line here. Let me tell you something now. We just went in. We just purchased $300 worth of food so y'all can have it for free. Y'all can eat, you ain't even got to buy it. We're going to bring it out. So I bet you ain't going nowhere now. Just got some food, we're going to bring it all out for us. These are monthly unity meetings designed to bring about leaders and the unity and to hear from all of the leaders in the area. The next one's going to be Tuesday, September 10th. We're going to be back. We're going to get bigger and stronger. Okay? But here, man, come on. Let's ask, and you have the next answers.
You're listening to Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice.
Welcome to Region Park. I'm Kedar. Today we're excited to bring you exclusive coverage of the City of Toronto's launch of Emancipation Month 2024 begins with flag rising and proclamation on August the 1st. Mayor Olivia Chow, Councillor Chris Moyes, Toronto Centre, Chair of the city's Confronting Anti-Black Racism Committee, marked the beginning of Emancipation Month with a Black Liberation Flag Rising ceremony at City Hall. This annual event, first proclaimed in 1998, celebrates the abolition of slavery in Canada and acknowledges the ongoing fight against anti-Black racism. A picnic movement of the event was the tribute to Elder Louis March, a community leader from the Zero Gun Violence movement, who recently passed away. His life and work were acknowledged, and attendees felt his spirit deeply during the ceremony. Mayor Chow emphasized the importance of recognizing Emancipation Month to address systematic barriers faced by Black communities and celebrate their contributions to Toronto. Councillor Moyes encouraged residents to join in the celebrations and learn from the past and build a better future. The flag-raising ceremony included performances by drummer Naju and saxophonist Jay Smooth, and remarks from Dr. Aita Sadhu of the Blackhurst Cultural Center. Watch the full coverage now, documented by RPTV news reporter Fred Alvarado.
I go. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh my goodness, there's so many people here today. It is so wonderful to see. We are family. We are here united. I am honored to be here today to commemorate the start of Emancipation Month by raising the Black Liberation Flag with all of you. I am proud to serve as one of 4 Black City Councilors in Toronto, the highest number ever since amalgamation more than 25 years ago. Yes. The Black experience in Toronto is slowly changing. I'm part of that change, and I will continue to do my part to ensure that the future evolves positively. As the chair of the city's Confronting Anti-Black Racism Advisory Committee, I am now working with staff on the new 10-year Anti-Black Racism Action Plan. Yes, indeed. Which will become the longest anti-Black racism mandate and strategy in the country. This action plan is an important opportunity to make an impact for the long term. In the more than 190 years since emancipation, there has been advancements for Black people in North America, with more than that is needed and can be done. I feel extremely privileged to live in Toronto. Despite our motto, diversity our strength, our diverse population is not immune to hate. This is why commemorating Emancipation Month is as important today as it has always been. The raising of the Black Liberation Flag continues to be an international symbol of the strength we can all share in unity. Originally created by Marcus Garvey in 1920 to serve as a unifying symbol to connect people of African descent across the globe, it does not represent one particular nation. The flag and its colors have been widely adopted by the Black communities to honor the shared heritage and relationship between people of the African diaspora. This tricolor flag consists of 3 equal horizontal bands, colored red, black, and green. Red symbolizes the blood of the people that is shed in the long ongoing struggle of Black liberation. Black represents the people of Black African ancestry. Green has been seen to represent the abundance and resilience of the Black community and communities. Building upon the meaning of this flag, our Emancipation Month events will see the launch of a year-long public education campaign called Confront the Past and Change the Future. Yes, indeed. Which begins today and runs until December 31st, 2025. The campaign focuses on understanding the contemporary impacts and legacy of the transatlantic slave trade and slavery, and aligns with the city's ongoing commitment to address systemic anti-Black racism and advance the human rights of Black communities through the recognition of the United Nations International Decade of People of African Descent. The campaign will include a number of offerings over the course of the year, including screenings, a speaker series, and more. While it is imperative to honor our history, we must also take it upon ourselves to advance the foundation laid by our predecessors and ensure a safe and prosperous future for generations to come. Thank you for being with us today. I would like to ask Mayor Chow to come to the podium to address the crowd. Thank you.
How about if I get all the councilors here? Deputy Mayor Amber Molly, Councilor Morris, and come on up. And Speaker, yes, Councillor Pasternak, and Speaker Francis Nunziata, come on in the back with me. I believe I saw Julie DeBrusen, MP here. Yeah. Joe Andrews here, the MPP. Yeah, okay. I think I saw Bonnie Crombie here. Yeah. And MP Ali Al-Sasi. I saw him last night. Is he here today? And who else? Anybody else? I'm always don't want to miss people.
Andrea Hazel.
Andrea Hazel. All right. Oh yes. Hi there. Okay. I'm too short. Can't see it. So pleased to see all of you here. I'm honored to be here with our council members to celebrate the start of Emancipation Month by raising the Black Liberation flag. I'm just going to go off speech because you talked about the flag, the red, that history, the proclaiming. Yes, it is August 1st, 1834, right? The Slavery Abolition Act of 1833 came into effect across British Empire, emancipating more than 800,000 enslaved Africans in British control regions around the world, including Canada. Let us not forget that. Toronto also officially became a city in 1834, and the spirit of freedom for all continues to embodied in the city's diversity. I want to capture that piece of history. It's important as we look at the red. Also, a destination of thousands of freedom seekers before the American Civil War, and one of the city's most prominent politicians, William Peyton Hubbard. The first politicians of African, yes, the bell's ringing, African descent elected to the office in Canada was acting mayor and served in public office for 15 years, okay? And we have an award, the Race Relations Award, and of course we have the Caribbean Festival happening this coming weekend. And I look at that flag. The red covers the history, the bloodshed, the violence, but the black, you remind us, is all color, is the unity. But it reminds me of a word, power. Power from freedom of oppression, power of freedom of injustice, because we see those injustices, we feel the systemic racism, and that is, black reminds me of power. The power when we come together to say no to hate. The power for us to come together and say no to discrimination. Whether it's in justice system or in the economic system, there are injustice and discrimination. And I also then look at the green. Yes, we mourn the passing of Brother Louis Marsh. But you know what he dedicated his life to? Young people. Yeah, the young people. We feel his spirit here. That green is also about hope. It's about going forward. What gives us hope? Young people, right? It's young people. So when we come together, we say, let us invest in our children. More food, good food in schools, in after-school programs, in more after-school programs, and summer camps with decent meals. All of that investment, whether it's economic hubs, employment programs, you name it. We all know what it is. There have been how many recommendations from numerous studies. We just need to go do it, right? Put our money where our mouth is and do it. Yep, that's what it is. So on the 2024 budget, we put in $2 million, small endowment, small what do you call it, down payment. We're going to do more. We're going to do more for young people so they have a place to go, a place to grow up healthy. Yes, I am diverting from, but that is what the flag means for all of us. As we come together, as we raise the flag, as we hold on to our flag, that is our commitment to work together. Remember the past, feel the power when we come together, and work for change, work for liberation. That's what we are here, what we are all about. Now, I get to do as a mayor something very, very wonderful. I want to welcome Dr. Guess who I'm, when I say doctor? I just said to I'm sorry, I'm just looking at how beautiful you are. Who has been a cornerstone of the Black cultural community through her work as the Blackhurst Culture Center, which we have a new building, right? And every year we have the Freedom Ride on the railroad. And I remember the different book list, right? Back then, yeah. And we are so proud to support you. I want to present to Dr. Seddu with the Emancipation Month Proclamation as a gesture of our gratitude for amazing contribution, past and present, in our city. Come. We need a big round of applause. Right. Let's hear it.
Thank you. This is wonderful.
Can you see everybody?
Everybody's in. Amber, how you doing?
Yeah. You are holding it. I'm not holding it.
Oh, what a beautiful day it is, because it's beautiful because we are all here. And I'm looking at all the colors of the buildings around, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, we add in color. Isn't that something? Whole time I'm sitting there and thinking, we add in color. And for Mayor Chow, when you were saying I'm going off my script or my notes, you know what? I sat there and Janelle and I said, that's Black people thing. The spirit hits us and we think, I need to make that point right now, right? So it's all good. And thank you to all of the counselors or special guests who came out today. I just want to say that my heart is real big and full right now. I am so just really pleased that my mother, who is 92 years young, is here. I am so pleased that she came in 1955 on the domestic program when Canada opened up its doors to immigration due to the work of Donald Moore and a number of Black Canadians here in the city that took on the federal government. So I'm happy about all of that. I just want to say I haven't tasted all of emancipation yet, so I'm in search of it. And I haven't said I haven't tasted all of freedom yet, but I'm in search of it. And I want to say I haven't tasted all of liberation yet, but I'm in search of it. And so each and every day, we say things over and over again. We try to be better, to be different, to do things. So when I see you come out, I see that you continue to want that, you have that desire to taste. Everybody give me a taste. To smell, give me a smell. And to hold, give me a hold. You can even hold somebody next to you. Yeah. We are always in desire. We are desirous to have emotion. So when I see you today, I know that we are on a good thing. My grandmother used to say, Black people have no ending power. Say that with me. Black people have no ending power. I used to think my grandmother was mad. Really thought she was a mad woman. But I've come to realize, and it was on the day I went to something where they said, the United Nations International Decade of African People is coming to an end. And in that moment, I heard my grandmother's voice say, Black people have no ending power, right? And so we are brilliant and we are at our best almost each and every day, but the world don't see that. And we keep on keeping on, whether it's a little or whether it's a lot, because Black people have no ending power. And because we have no ending power, we are going to do two things. We are always going to be in search of that smell, of that taste, and that feel of emancipation. And the other thing that we will always do, and it is included in the words of the Barbados National Anthem, we will always, 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 always write our names on history's page with expectations great. Thank you so much for this wonderful plaque and proclamation. I will put it in the Blackers Cultural Center. Enough respect, everybody. Keep on keeping on and keep on feeling the taste, the smell, and the touch of emancipation.
I want to recognize that we have members of the Ghanaian royalty here. So we honor you. Thank you for joining us today. And we have leaders amongst us as we make change here at the City of Toronto. You know, for those of you who are not City of Toronto staff, we have a powerful Black staff network who started with us in 2018. And so I would like to invite Cassandra Carmichael to the podium to speak on behalf of the City of Toronto's Black Staff Network and the important work that they do to empower Black city employees. Please welcome Cassandra.
Hi, thank you, Kemba. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and I want to thank everyone for being here today. My name is Cassandra Carmichael. I am a communications and wellness lead for our Toronto Public Service Black Staff Network. As well, I am the co-chair for the Toronto Employment and Social Services Black Staff Network. I am honored to speak on behalf of our chair of the Black Staff Network, Shalini Boa, representing our executive committee and just under 1,000 dedicated members in our network. Thank you, Mayor Olivia Chow, Toronto City Council, the City Clerk's Office, and the Confronting Anti-Black Racism Unit for hosting this event and acknowledging the importance of Emancipation Day. Today we gather to reflect on the profound significance of emancipation and its enduring impact on our lives, our community, and our workplace. Emancipation represents freedom, a hard-won liberation from the shackles of slavery and oppression. It signifies the relentless pursuit of equality, justice, and human dignity. For us, as members of the Black Staff Network, emancipation is not just a historical milestone, it is a living, breathing testament to the resilience, strength, and unwavering spirit of Black people throughout history and into our present day. As we commemorate emancipation, we honor our ancestors and those before us who fought bravely for their freedom at great personal cost. We acknowledge their sacrifices and the foundation they've laid for us to stand here today. Emancipation is not merely a reflection on the past. It is a call to action in the present. It reminds us of the ongoing struggles against systemic racism, discrimination, and inequality that continue to affect our lives and communities. Our Black Staff Network membership, with its vibrant and diasporic complement, spans across various divisions in this city. Our executive committee plays a crucial role in supporting the well-being of Black staff within the city. We strive to create a workplace where every individual is valued, respected, and given the opportunity to thrive. And so today we recognize the importance of the City of Toronto in championing this event. The City of Toronto's commitment to celebrating emancipation highlights its dedication to fostering a culture of diversity, equity, and inclusion within our organization. By embracing this event, the City of Toronto demonstrates its recognition of the historical and ongoing struggles faced by Black individuals and its commitment to addressing these challenges head-on. This event is not just a ceremonial gesture, it is a beacon of hope and progress. It is a reminder that our contributions are valued and that our journey towards equality is supported at the highest levels of our organization. It reinforces our belief that we are not alone in the pursuit of justice and that together we can create a workplace and community that truly reflects the ideals of freedom and equality that emancipation represents. So in closing, emancipation is a powerful symbol of our collective journey, a journey marked by struggle, resilience, and triumph. As we commemorate this momentous occasion, let us recommit ourselves to the ongoing fight against anti-Black racism, justice, and equality. Let us honor our past, celebrate our present, and work tirelessly towards a future where every individual, regardless of race, can live and work in an environment that is truly free and equal. Thank you.
Happy Emancipation Day.
Thank you. And so we'll make our closing very small today. We'll do it this way. First of all, I was recalling to Aita the first time we raised this flag, and so we want to honor Brother Dewitt Lee, whose vision it was to raise the emancipation flag. And at that particular ceremony, there were about a dozen of us, if that many. Yes, it was incredible. So it is really incredible to see these people. So we're given, with this amount of people, so we're giving thanks for that. And so as we say thank you to the ancestors for always being with us, we thank them for their special role in today and for bringing out the sun right now. Ashe. And so the last thing we should do together is sit in quiet, without speaking, with focus, to remember all that just transpired, and that when we see the red, the black, the green, we know that it is about remembering our birthright of liberation and freedom. Ashe. And so now let us begin that moment of silent reflection.
Hello, my name is Stephen Mensah, Executive Director of the Toronto Youth Cabinet. Yeah, so today is the launch of Emancipation Month at the City of Toronto, and so the Black community and various communities of the city have gathered to really, celebrate the freedom, that Black Canadians got in Canada decades and decades ago, but also to really recommit ourselves to confronting anti-Black racism in the City of Toronto and Canada at large. So I'm here to join community members in that regard. Yeah, I know in my role, it's of utmost importance that we continue to take steps to make Toronto more equitable for young people specifically. Mayor Charles spoke to the loss of an elder Louis March recently, who was a vigorous advocate and very passionate for Toronto's young people. And so, being here today it caused me to recommit ourselves to making Toronto more equitable for our most vulnerable youth, who we know are facing tremendous amount of challenges. So in my role, we're going to recommit to that to keep advocating on behalf of Toronto's young people.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also follow us on social media, and for more information, check out our website.
You're listening to Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice.
Welcome to Region Park. I'm Kedar. Today we're excited to bring you exclusive coverage of the City of Toronto's launch of Emancipation Month 2024 begins with flag rising and proclamation on August the 1st. Mayor Olivia Chow, Councillor Chris Moyes, Toronto Centre, Chair of the city's Confronting Anti-Black Racism Committee, marked the beginning of Emancipation Month with a Black Liberation Flag Rising ceremony at City Hall. This annual event, first proclaimed in 1998, celebrates the abolition of slavery in Canada and acknowledges the ongoing fight against anti-Black racism. A picnic movement of the event was the tribute to Elder Louis March, a community leader from the Zero Gun Violence movement, who recently passed away. His life and work were acknowledged, and attendees felt his spirit deeply during the ceremony. Mayor Chow emphasized the importance of recognizing Emancipation Month to address systematic barriers faced by Black communities and celebrate their contributions to Toronto. Councillor Moyes encouraged residents to join in the celebrations and learn from the past and build a better future. The flag-raising ceremony included performances by drummer Naju and saxophonist Jay Smooth, and remarks from Dr. Aita Sadhu of the Blackhurst Cultural Center. Watch the full coverage now, documented by RPTV news reporter Fred Alvarado.
Ago. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh my goodness, there's so many people here today. It is so wonderful to see. We are family. We are here united. I am honored to be here today to commemorate the start of Emancipation Month by raising the Black Liberation Flag with all of you. I am proud to serve as one of 4 Black city councillors in Toronto, the highest number ever since amalgamation more than 25 years ago. Yes. The Black experience in Toronto is slowly changing. I'm part of that change, and I will continue to do my part to ensure that the future evolves positively. As the chair of the city's Confronting Anti-Black Racism Advisory Committee, I am now working with staff on the new 10-year Anti-Black Racism Action Plan. Yes, indeed. Which will become the longest anti-Black racism mandate and strategy in the country. This action plan is an important opportunity to make an impact for the long term. In the more than 190 years since emancipation, there has been advancements for Black people in North America, with more than that is needed and can be done. I feel extremely privileged to live in Toronto. Despite our motto, diversity our strength, our diverse population is not immune to hate. This is why commemorating Emancipation Month is as important today as it has always been. The raising of the Black Liberation Flag continues to be an international symbol of the strength we can all share in unity. Originally created by Marcus Garvey in 1920 to serve as a unifying symbol to connect people of African descent across the globe, it does not represent one particular nation. The flag and its colors have been widely adopted by the Black communities to honor the shared heritage and relationship between people of the African diaspora. This tricolor flag consists of 3 equal horizontal bands, colored red, black, and green. Red symbolizes the blood of the people that is shed in the long ongoing struggle of Black liberation. Black represents the people of Black African ancestry. Green has been seen to represent the abundance and resilience of the Black community and communities. Building upon the meaning of this flag, our Emancipation Month events will see the launch of a year-long public education campaign called Confront the Past and Change the Future. Yes, indeed. Which begins today and runs until December 31st, 2025. The campaign focuses on understanding the contemporary impacts and legacy of the transatlantic slave trade and slavery, and aligns with the city's ongoing commitment to address systemic anti-Black racism and advance the human rights of Black communities through the recognition of the United Nations International Decade of People of African Descent. The campaign will include a number of offerings over the course of the year, including screenings, a speaker series, and more. While it is imperative to honor our history, we must also take it upon ourselves to advance the foundation laid by our predecessors and ensure a safe and prosperous future for generations to come. Thank you for being with us today. I would like to ask Mayor Chow to come to the podium to address the crowd. Thank you.
How about if I get all the councilors here? Deputy Mayor Amber Molly, Councilor Morris, and come on up. And Speaker, yes, Councilor Pasternak, and Speaker Francis Nunziata, come on in the back with me. I believe I saw Julie DeBrusen, MP here. Yeah. Joe Andrew is here, the MPP. Yeah, okay. I think I saw Bonnie Crombie here. Yeah. And MP Ali El-Sasi. I saw him last night. Is he here today? And who else? Anybody else? I always don't want to miss people.
Andrea Hazel.
Andrea Hazel, all right. Oh yes. Hi there. Okay, I'm too short. Can't see it. So pleased to see all of you here. I'm honored to be here with our council members to celebrate the start of Emancipation Month by raising the Black Liberation flag. I'm just going to go off speech because you talked about the flag, the red, that history, the proclaiming. Yes, it is August 1st, 1834, right? The Slavery Abolition Act of 1833 came into effect across British Empire, emancipating more than 800,000 enslaved Africans in British control regions around the world, including Canada. Let us not forget that. Toronto also officially became a city in 1834, and the spirit of freedom for all continues to embodied in the city's diversity. I want to capture that piece of history. It's important as we look at the red. Also, a destination of thousands of freedom seekers before the American Civil War, and one of the city's most prominent politicians, William Peyton Hubbard. The first politicians of African, yes, the bell is ringing, African descent elected to the office in Canada was acting mayor and served in public office for 15 years, okay? And we have an award, the Race Relations Award, and of course we have the Caribbean Festival happening this coming weekend. And I look at that flag. The red covers the history, the bloodshed, the violence, but the black, you remind us, is all color, is the unity. But it reminds me of a word, power. Power from freedom of oppression, power of freedom of injustice, because we see those injustices, we feel the systemic racism, and that is, Black reminds me of power. The power when we come together to say no to hate. The power for us to come together and say no to discrimination. Whether it's in justice system or in the economic system, there are injustice and discrimination. And I also then look at the green. Yes, we mourn the passing of Brother Louis Marsh. But you know what he dedicated his life to? Young people. Yeah, the young people. We feel his spirit here. That green is also about hope. It's about going forward. What gives us hope? Young people, right? It's young people. So when we come together, we say, let us invest in our children. More food, good food in schools, in after-school programs, in more after-school programs, and summer camps with decent meals. All of that investment, whether it's economic hubs, employment programs, you name it, we all know what it is. There have been how many recommendations from numerous studies? We just need to go do it, right? Put our money where our mouth is and do it. Yep, that's what it is. So on the 2024 budget, we put in $2 million, small endowment, small, what do you call it, down payment. We're going to do more. We're going to do more for young people so they have a place to go, a place to grow up healthy. Yes, I am diverting from, but that is what the flag means for all of us. As we come together, as we raise the flag, as we hold on to our flag, that is our commitment to work together. Remember the past, feel the power when we come together, and work for change, work for liberation. That's what we are here, what we're all about. Now, I get to do, as a mayor, something very, very wonderful. I want to welcome Dr. Guess who when I say doctor? I just said to Sedu. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at how beautiful you are. Who has been a cornerstone of the Black cultural community through her work as the Blackhurst Culture Center, which we have a new building, right? And every year we have the Freedom Ride on the railroad. And I remember the different book list, right? Back then, yeah. And we are so proud to support you. I want to present to Dr. Sedu with the Emancipation Month Proclamation as a gesture of our gratitude for her amazing contribution, past and present, in our city. Come. We need a big round of applause.
Right.
Let's hear it.
Thank you. This is wonderful.
Can you see everybody?
Everybody's in. Amber, how you doing?
Yeah. You are holding it. I'm not holding it.
Hold it together.
Oh, what a beautiful day it is, because it's beautiful because we are all here. And I'm looking at all the colors of the buildings around, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, we add in color. Isn't that something? Whole time I'm sitting there and thinking, we add in color. And for Mayor Chow, when you were saying I'm going off my script or my notes, you know what? I sat there and Janelle and I said, that's Black people's thing. The spirit hits us and we think, I need to make that point right now, right? So it's all good. And thank you to all of the counselors and or special guests who came out today. I just want to say that my heart is real big and full right now. I am so just really pleased that my mother, who is 92 years young, is here. I am so pleased that she came in 1955 on the domestic program when Canada opened up its doors to immigration due to the work of Donald Moore and a number of Black Canadians here in the city that took on the federal government. So I'm happy about all of that. I just want to say I haven't tasted all of emancipation yet, so I'm in search of it. And I haven't said I haven't tasted all of freedom yet, but I'm in search of it. And I want to say I haven't tasted all of liberation yet, but I'm in search of it. And so each and every day, we say things over and over again. We try to be better, to be different, to do things. So when I see you come out, I see that you continue to want that, you have that desire to taste. Everybody give me a taste. To smell, give me a smell. And to hold, give me a hold. You can even hold somebody next to you. Yeah. We are always in desire. We are desirous to have emotion. So when I see you today, I know that we are on a good thing. My grandmother used to say, Black people have no ending power. Say that with me. Black people have no ending power. I used to think my grandmother was mad. Really thought she was a mad woman. But I've come to realize, and it was on the day I went to something where they said, the United Nations decade, International Decade of African People is coming to an end. And in that moment, I heard my grandmother's voice say, Black people have no ending power, right? And so we are brilliant and we are at our best almost each and every day, but the world don't see that. And we keep on keeping on, whether it's a little or whether it's a lot, because Black people have no ending power. And because we have no ending power, we are going to do two things. We are always going to be in search of that smell, of that taste, and that feel of emancipation. And the other thing that we will always do, and it is included in the words of the Barbados National Anthem, we will always, 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 always write our names on history's page with expectations great. Thank you so much for this wonderful plaque and proclamation. I will put it in the Blackers Cultural Center. Enough respect, everybody. Keep on keeping on and keep on feeling the taste, the smell, and the touch of emancipation.
I want to recognize that we have members of the Ghanaian royalty here. So we honor you. Thank you for joining us today. And we have leaders amongst us as we make change here at the City of Toronto. You know, for those of you who are not City of Toronto staff, we have a powerful Black staff network who started with us in 2018. And so I would like to invite Cassandra Carmichael to the podium to speak on behalf of the City of Toronto's Black Staff Network and the important work that they do to empower Black city employees. Please welcome Cassandra.
Hi, thank you, Kemba. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and I want to thank everyone for being here today. My name is Cassandra Carmichael. I am a communications and wellness lead for our Toronto Public Service Black Staff Network. As well, I am the co-chair for the Toronto Employment and Social Services Black Staff Network. I am honored to speak on behalf of our chair of the Black Staff Network, Shalini Boa, representing our executive committee and just under 1,000 dedicated members in our network. Thank you, Mayor Olivia Chow, Toronto City Council, the City Clerk's Office, and the Confronting Anti-Black Racism Unit for hosting this event and acknowledging the importance of Emancipation Day. Today we gather to reflect on the profound significance of emancipation and its enduring impact on our lives, our community, and our workplace. Emancipation represents freedom, a hard-won liberation from the shackles of slavery and oppression. It signifies the relentless pursuit of equality, justice, and human dignity. For us, as members of the Black Staff Network, emancipation is not just a historical milestone, it is a living, breathing testament to the resilience, strength, and unwavering spirit of Black people throughout history and into our present day. As we commemorate emancipation, we honor our ancestors and those before us who fought bravely for their freedom at great personal cost. We acknowledge their sacrifices and the foundation they've laid for us to stand here today. Emancipation is not merely a reflection on the past. It is a call to action in the present. It reminds us of the ongoing struggles against systemic racism, discrimination, and inequality that continue to affect our lives and communities. Our Black Staff Network membership, with its vibrant and diasporic complement, spans across various divisions in this city. Our executive committee plays a crucial role in supporting the well-being of Black staff within the city. We strive to create a workplace where every individual is valued, respected, and given the opportunity to thrive. And so today we recognize the importance of the City of Toronto in championing this event. The City of Toronto's commitment to celebrating emancipation highlights its dedication to fostering a culture of diversity, equity, and inclusion within our organization. By embracing this event, the City of Toronto demonstrates its recognition of the historical and ongoing struggles faced by Black individuals and its commitment to addressing these challenges head-on. This event is not just a ceremonial gesture, it is a beacon of hope and progress. It is a reminder that our contributions are valued and that our journey towards equality is supported at the highest levels of our organization. It reinforces our belief that we are not alone in the pursuit of justice and that together we can create a workplace and community that truly reflects the ideals of freedom and equality that emancipation represents. So in closing, emancipation is a powerful symbol of our collective journey, a journey marked by struggle, resilience, and triumph. As we commemorate this momentous occasion, let us recommit ourselves to the ongoing fight against anti-Black racism, justice, and equality. Let us honor our past, celebrate our present, and work tirelessly towards a future where every individual, regardless of race, can live and work in an environment that is truly free and equal. Thank you.
Happy Emancipation Day.
Thank you. And so we'll make our closing very small today. We'll do it this way. First of all, I was recalling to Aita the first time we raised this flag, and so we want to honor Brother Dewitt Lee, whose vision it was to raise the emancipation flag. And at that particular ceremony, there were about a dozen of us, if that many. Yes, it was incredible. So it is really incredible to see these people. So we're given, with this amount of people, so we're giving thanks for that. And so as we say thank you to the ancestors for always being with us, we thank them for their special role in today and for bringing out the sun right now. Ashe. And so the last thing we should do together is sit in quiet, without speaking, with focus, to remember all that just transpired, and that when we see the red, the black, the green, we know that it is about remembering our birthright of liberation and freedom. Ashe. And so now let us begin that moment of silent reflection.
Hello, my name is Stephen Mensah, Executive Director of the Toronto Youth Cabinet. Yeah, so today is the launch of Emancipation Month at the City of Toronto, and so the Black community and various communities of the city have gathered to really, celebrate the freedom, that Black Canadians got in Canada decades and decades ago, but also to really recommit ourselves to confronting anti-Black racism in the City of Toronto and Canada at large. So I'm here to join community members in that regard. Yeah, I know in my role, it's of utmost importance that we continue to take steps to make Toronto more equitable for young people specifically. Mayor Chow spoke to, the loss of an elder Louis March recently, who was a vigorous advocate and very passionate for Toronto's young people. And so, being here today, it caused me to recommit ourselves to making Toronto more equitable for our most vulnerable youth, who we know are facing tremendous amount of challenges. So in my role, we're going to recommit to that to keep advocating on behalf of Toronto's young people.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also follow us on social media, and for more information, check out our website.
Yeah. Rare, wondrous, romantic. Gems have fascinated mankind for millennia, but a precious stone's beauty and rarity is only a part of its story. There is also adventure.
Being a gemstone buyer, it's pretty amazing that I have that experience that to travel around the world, to go to these places, to whether it's to the mine or to the source, to actually get that gemstone.
This violet blue tanzanite stone, or this deep red ruby, aren't just beautiful and valuable treasures. They're also the symbolic end to an epic tale that began eons ago.
50 million years ago it was deposited here, and all of a sudden, you're the first one to see it.
The thrill of discovery is only one chapter in a quest that can cross thousands of miles and involve hundreds of man-hours. Set everywhere from primitive mines to modern laboratories, it is a tale that combines both traditional craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology to create the world's most timeless works of art. From rough crystal to cherished heirloom, from deep underground to your dresser jewelry box. Join us as we follow the gemstone journey. High in the mountains of southern Brazil lies the mining region of Minas Gerais.
Minas Gerais is a great producer of gems, of precious stones, of gems in general, and the third in the world even until the present date.
Today, the miners may ride an elevator instead of climbing rickety wooden ladders. But at this emerald mine in Nova Era, the day begins as it has for centuries, with a trip deep underground. 1,000 feet underground, the miners use power drills to punch holes in the granite face of the shaft. The miners attach fuses and detonators to the dynamite. Then, they move back a safe distance and set off the charges. When the dust settles, the heavy work begins, hauling the emerald-bearing rock up to the surface.
It's hard work to keep on bending down and straightening up. It's hard. This part, at night, is not fun.
But freeing the stone from the rock isn't the first step towards placing an emerald on someone's finger. It is actually the middle of a journey that began millions of years before. What's commonly called an emerald is actually a green-tinted variety of the mineral beryl. Beryllium aluminum cyclosilicate, to be precise.
All minerals are crystalline, and most of the gemstones are minerals. The crystalline structure is an orderly pattern that causes the same motif of atoms to repeat itself in the 3 dimensions regularly.
It is a complicated process, requiring just the right amount of geological energy to properly align the atoms.
It would take tremendous amounts of heat and pressure to actually create one of the pockets in one of the hard granite pegmatites.
Over time, a tremendously long time, the emerald will continue to grow, adding new atoms onto its crystal lattice.
For nature, 1,000 years is a very short time, so typically they take millions of years to grow.
Despite being millions of years in the making, most of the resulting crystals will be too small to be seen with the naked eye. And even among those rare large crystals, few will be considered gem quality.
Just because it's a ruby or an emerald or a sapphire or a diamond doesn't mean it's something precious or valuable. There are rubies, emeralds, and sapphires that aren't worth 50 cents a carat.
The conditions to form gemstones that are transparent and they have beautiful color do not occur very often.
Large, well-formed crystals are also very unusual, which makes this 330-carat rough emerald a rare find indeed. The result of just the right combination of chemicals and pressures.
Emerald itself is a silicate that contains aluminum and a rare element called beryllium. The green color in emerald is caused by traces of vanadium and chromium.
The slightest change in formula or pressure can produce dramatically different results. For instance, replacing the aluminum with manganese produces the exceedingly rare red beryl.
It looks like an emerald. It's the same exact crystal structure. It's the same exact type of inclusions, except it's found under the certain geological conditions that produce the color red instead of green.
Depending on what trace impurities are present, beryl can also be pink, white, or yellow. Add traces of aluminum and iron, and the result is the delicate blue gemstone aquamarine. Aluminum and iron, or aluminum oxide, is what gives us the mineral corundum. And when titanium is added to the mix, we get another blue gemstone, blue sapphire.
So a lot of people in the world sort of still don't realise that sapphires come in so many colours. They sort of think that sapphires are blue, rubies are red, emeralds are green, but as they're starting to realise a little bit now that sapphires do come in every colour.
Sapphires can be blue, green, purple, pink, orange, yellow, and even red. Although if red, the stones are called rubies.
Ruby and sapphire are exactly the same gem material with the exception of the trace elements that cause the color. So ruby gets its red color from chromium, and sapphire gets its blue color from trace amounts of iron and titanium.
Depending on what position it occupies in the crystalline structure of the mineral, the chromium that gives ruby a red color will cause an emerald to be green. So the crystalline structure of the material also has a very significant impact in the color that we see.
Rare pink diamonds, for instance, owe their unusual color primarily to microscopic flaws within the gemstone's internal structure.
It's not a chemical that's been caught up in the making of the diamonds. The molecules and things aren't lined up, and that causes a refraction of light, and then you get pink rather than white diamonds.
White or colorless diamonds are unique in that they consist of a single element, carbon. But just like other gems, trace impurities can radically alter a diamond's tint. Chemistry and geology, however, aren't the only sciences that can start a gemstone's journey. Biology can also play a part.
There are a big number of organic gemstones, such as ivory that comes from the tusks of elephants. Coral is also a very common gemstones produced by life.
Jet, a fossilized wood, is actually a type of coal. Primeval forests are also the source for amber, which is a fossilized tree sap.
True amber was found in certain regions of the world only, the Baltic region, for example. It would wash up on the shores of the Baltic Sea as if it was a gift from the waters.
But a round, lustrous pearl is by far the most precious organically produced gem.
Pearls are formed when an irritant enters the oyster, or whatever the host happens to be. It starts coating it, starts secreting nacre. Now, nacre is made of two components. One is a natural glue called conculin that binds everything together. And the second one is what they call calcium carbonate in the form of a mineral called aragonite. All these miniature little crystals are laid out layer by layer with that glue, natural glue, and it just keeps coating and coating and coating. And eventually, given enough time, that pearl starts growing and get to a pretty sizable shape and form.
Most gems, however, are a gift from the earth. Precious gems like sapphires and rubies and diamonds are found in all three types of rock: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic.
Almost every gemstone actually has some type of a matrix that it forms on. For example, emeralds are usually found in pegmatites. And then you'll see the emerald crystals forming right outside of that host rock.
Igneous rocks, like granite and basalt, are formed when molten rock called magma rises from within the Earth's mantle.
When magma crystallizes, it forms an igneous rock. If it crystallizes deep within the Earth and over a long period of time, this magma will produce large crystals and it will form a plutonic igneous rock. If, on the other hand, the magma reaches the surface fast and it cools relatively fast, it can produce a volcanic igneous rocks. And gemstones occur in both volcanic and plutonic igneous rocks.
Rubies, sapphires, topaz, and beryl are typically found in igneous rock formations. But the best-known igneous gem matrix may be kimberlite.
Historically, the most common rock type that yields diamonds in the world is kimberlite.
Found in deep vertical formations called pipes, kimberlite is the hardened magma of ancient volcanoes.
We don't have this type of volcano today. The youngest one we have is 35 million years old. Most of these were somewhere around 90 million years or even greater in age.
Sedimentary rock forms on or near the surface as sediments created by erosion pile atop one another. Over time, pressure compresses the sand, mud, and gravel, cementing it into rock. Gems found within sedimentary rocks include turquoise, agates, amethyst, and opals.
Gemstones that form in the sedimentary environment have to do a lot with water. Opal, for example, is formed by precipitation from silica out of groundwater that circulates through the rocks.
Metamorphic rocks are rocks that have been changed by the heat and pressure of movements within the Earth's crust. As this happens, gems such as emeralds and garnets can grow within the rocks.
Garnets are common in metamorphic processes that take place over vast areas where the pressure on a specific direction may be considerable. There are other type of metamorphic rocks that are formed through contact metamorphism, and usually there is a transfer of material from the igneous body that helps in growing new crystals, for example, emeralds.
Emeralds, as a result, are relatively rare, with finds concentrated in only a few places on the globe. Garnets, formed by the immense pressures associated with mountain building, are one of the most widely distributed gems. Found worldwide and known by names such as savarite, pyrope, and spessartite, they occur in a wide variety of colors, some more rare than others.
Not just deep, dark red garnet, which most people think of first when you think of the January birthstone, but intense, rich green garnet, incredible fiery orange garnet, colorless garnet, brown garnet, yellow garnet.
From deep purple amethyst to golden brown zircon, gemstones occur in dazzling diversity. Each individual stone a reflection of the unique conditions required to produce it.
Gems are minerals, and minerals grow only when the conditions for their growth are adequate. If the conditions change, then the mineral changes.
Slight variations in conditions also leave telltale fingerprints in the form of inclusions, tiny characteristics found within the stone. These inclusions often allow gemologists to identify a stone and trace its parent country or even mine.
The best colors in emeralds are produced by the mines in Colombia, the Chivor and the Muso mine. In the Chivor mine, pyrite may be also found as an inclusion, whereas calcite crystals in form of rhombohedron may be found in the Muso mine. So it is possible to tell the origin of the emerald by looking at the inclusions.
In some cases, however, there is little need for a jeweler's loupe or microscope to determine a stone's origin. Certain gems, such as this brilliant blue tanzanite, are so rare that they have only been found in one place.
The sequence of events that created tanzanite only occurred in one small strip at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro in what they call the Marilani Hills. And that's only about 6 kilometers long and about 2 kilometers wide. So far, they've found no other source of tanzanite in the entire world.
Then there is hiddenite, an unusual emerald green variety of the mineral spodumene.
It can occur in a pale green, and it is found in many parts of the world in a very pale green. The deep green is rare and unique.
Deep green hiddenite is so unique that it has even earned itself a spot on the map.
It's just found in one place in the world, and that's it, down in North Carolina.
And by an odd coincidence of geology and chemistry, the deposit that produces this one-of-a-kind emerald-colored gem also yields actual emeralds.
You have this deep green hiddenite forming feet away from a rare chromium-rich emerald crystal, two totally different gem materials in virtually the same color. But they crystallize differently, their chemical composition is different, and their optical qualities are different. Just fascinating.
Gemstones aren't always found where they were formed, however. As rocks are weathered by wind and water, gemstones are often eroded out of their original matrix.
Those fragments are easily taken by the rivers or by the ocean and transported as sediment.
Eventually, as the water slows, the heavy gems will settle to the bottom, accumulating in deposits of alluvial sand and gravel in riverbeds. Typically tumbled and polished by the journey downstream, the rough gems found in alluvial deposits are often of high quality and easily recovered. In fact, alluvial mining is the oldest method of mining gemstones. It's a method that stretches as far back as recorded history. Among the most rare objects on Earth, gemstones are an elusive treasure. To find them, prospectors such as these emerald hunters in Hiddenite, North Carolina, often search for what are called indicator minerals. More common and less valuable than gemstones, indicators are typically found in association with the desired gem.
We look for associated minerals such as your pyrites, your tourmalines, your rutils, and albites, which is a feldspar type crystal. We look for all the combination of minerals here, and then we know that we're in an area that is potential for emeralds.
Then it's a matter of digging or drilling to determine whether the desired gem occurs in a marketable quantity. Opal miners in the Australian town of Coober Pedy spend days drilling core samples, looking for precious opal's telltale opalescent glint.
Like exploring for oil or steel or copper, gold, we're drilling. And if we cut some traces or a bit of reasonable thickness opal, we open up.
Alluvial finds can also lead an experienced prospector upstream to the gemstone's primary deposit. For instance, small amounts of alluvial diamonds had been mined in Australia since the late 19th century. But it wasn't until the 1970s that a company called CRA located the ancient volcanic source of the gemstones.
Purely by good luck and good fortune, CRA discovered liberated diamonds in stream sediments on Smoke Creek. And at that point in time, they only knew that the diamonds were actually coming from upstream. And they then actually followed that stream up into what we know as the Argyle Pipe today.
The amount of luck involved in some gem discoveries is downright legendary. For example, while it has been less than 4 decades since tanzanite was first found in 1967, its origins are already shrouded in mystery and folklore.
It's a new gemstone, very new in comparison to sapphires and rubies that have been around for thousands of years.
Tanzanite may be a new gemstone, but in rough form, it has been around for millions of years, a seemingly worthless rock littering the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro.
When you see it in its original form, it's kind of ugly. Have you ever seen rough? Kind of Coke bottle color. It's gotta be brownish, greenish. It's just a weird color to see.
Natural blue tanzanite is extremely rare. Intense heat, however, will turn that previously ugly stone a deep translucent violet blue. But it took thousands of years and, supposedly, a chance thunderstorm before a Maasai shepherd stumbled across the secret.
The story going around Tanzania was the lightning strikes evidently provided the heat needed to alter the color. And what they're saying is as the storm came through, somebody came afterwards and they saw the material change and, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful violet or blue color.
Mining tanzanite was initially a simple matter of picking up the stones scattered across the hillsides. But the search soon went underground.
First, when they got there, you could literally pick the crystals off the ground. It was amazing. Now they're going down to over 300, 400 meters.
Mining methods vary according to the type and richness of the deposit. The wealth of the country where the deposit occurs can also be a factor. In poor third world countries, many alluvial deposits are worked as they have been for centuries, with a shovel and a sifter at the water's edge.
Have you ever seen people panning for gold? It's kind of the same thing. They pan for gemstones.
In wealthy Western nations, the mining of rich alluvial deposits can be highly mechanized. Australia's crystal mining company uses modern heavy machinery to dig up the alluvial sapphires entombed in the dried-up ancient riverbeds of the continent's gemfield region.
We've drilled it first, so we know roughly where the deposit of sapphire is. We have to then strip the overburden off, and then we excavate and cart the wash out of the pits, which of course is transported up to behind us here where the wash plant is.
Modern hard rock mining to recover gemstones from the original matrix is typically done on a similarly massive scale. In this open pit mine high in the mountains of Brazil's Minas Gerais region, workmen use bulldozers to break up rock containing imperial topaz. Then, a crane and dragline bucket hauls the topaz-bearing matrix to the top of the mine for sorting.
At present, it's the only mine in the world where we can get the topaz gem. The others are insignificant. 95 to 98% of the topaz in the world comes from this mine.
Diamond pipes are mined on an even more massive scale. Australia's Argyle mine, currently the world's largest producer of diamonds, employs a small army of highly trained technicians to operate hundreds of millions of dollars worth of state-of-the-art machinery.
We like to mine with the best equipment, using the best knowledge and experience that's out there in the world. Therefore, it does make our operation a lot more efficient and a lot safer because we're using the latest equipment and the latest techniques.
At the other end of the spectrum are the tanzanite mines in the shadow of Mount Kilimanjaro.
They're using pick shovels. They have wooden ladders that are made from scrap wood. And these are nailed together. And these guys will sometimes climb down a few hundred feet into a totally dark hole on this wooden ladder that I looked at and I said, wow.
Technology-wise, there's really only one thing separating the Maasai tribesmen's techniques and those employed in the ancient and legendary mines of King Solomon: dynamite.
At night, what's really amazing, when you go back to the hotel, you'll start hearing a rumbling in the background. And you'll hear boom, 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 and it sounds like massive thunder. It's actually all the miners sending off their charges under the earth. They do it after the mines are cleared out. They place the charges, everybody gets out, and they start having these explosions, one after the other. And it sounds like the roar of thunder throughout the entire field, and it'll go on for sometimes for hours.
Whether the digging is done with bare hands or heavy machinery, one thing remains constant.
They move a lot of earth just to find a few little pieces of crystal here and there.
For example, on average, it is necessary to process a big volume of kimberlite, maybe hundreds of tons of kimberlite to get 1 carat of diamond. And from that volume of diamonds, only 1/4 will be gem quality.
For Australian opal miners in Coober Pedy, processing is a simple matter, using methods miners have employed for millennia.
You just pick it, put in the bags, and then go home, wash it, the buyer comes, and the money on the table, and that's what it is.
Once unearthed, the stones are one step closer to the consumer, but the journey is far from over. The gems are still in rough form, and they have to be sorted and separated. In the imperial topaz mines of Brazil, bulldozers may do the digging, but the processing is still done by hand. The crushed and washed ore is dumped onto a conveyor belt where workmen pick out the topaz.
For us to be able to get 1 carat of gem here at the mine, we need to remove 2 cubic meters of soil from the mine down there.
Meanwhile, at Australia's crystal mining company, the sapphire rough is sorted and processed by purely mechanical means.
The front end loader comes and tips the material into the hopper. From there it goes through and up the conveyor belt into the trommel. Inside the trommel is big high pressure jets of water which actually hit the material and bust up the lumps of clay and clean all the material up. When it comes out of there, it goes through what we call a pulsator, which is worked on water pressure with diaphragms in the ends of it. And as it pulses, the material flows across the top. And of course, the sapphires and ironstone being heavier, they sink to the bottom.
The ironstone is removed with a magnetic separator, leaving the sapphires, some as small as 1 millimeter across.
Select 100 pieces to the carat, which are mainly used in watches in Switzerland.
To remove rough diamonds from the crushed ore, Australia's Argyle mine uses an even more sophisticated machine called a photomultiplier.
There are X-ray machines which spray from all sides the rocks with X-rays. When a diamond sees the X-ray, it fluoresces a bright blue, and all of a sudden, this thing will just shine like crazy.
When the photomultiplier tubes see the visible light, they initiate the air blast, which blasts the diamond material into the concentrate stream, and the gangue material just falls by gravity into a waste stream.
Whether the work is done with X-rays or magnets, the machines can accomplish in a matter of minutes what once took days to do by hand.
Years ago, it was all done by hand, and we'd have drums and drums, like tons and tons of material, all had to be picked by hand, and it took weeks, months to do it. Now, with the processing we do today, we come home, the next day it's all run through, gone, ready for market.
Then, once the last minuscule gem is recovered, the stones are ready to be graded, cut, and polished for the wholesale market. A gemstone's market value is based on what are commonly called the 4 C's: carat weight, clarity, color, and cut.
Each of those has impact on the beauty of the stone, the desirability of the stone, the rarity of the stone, and thus the price of the stone.
Carat weight, the first of the 4 criteria, measures the mass of the stone. 1 carat is exactly 200 milligrams.
Carat does not mean size. It doesn't mean how big is it. It means how heavy is it.
Diamond weight and size cannot be equated with color gemstones. The overall size of a 1 carat stone can vary greatly, depending on the relative density of different gems.
The actual weight of diamond, for example, is lighter than ruby and sapphire and heavier than an emerald. So if you had 3 stones that all weighed 1 carat, a 1 carat ruby, a 1 carat emerald, and a 1 carat diamond, and they were all cut in the exact same shape and at the same proportions, the ruby or sapphire would look almost 25% smaller than the diamond, and the emerald will look larger than the diamond.
The second C, clarity, is a measure of a gem's internal characteristics called inclusions.
They can be microscopic crystals of some other gem. They can be little gas bubbles. They can be stress fractures. They can be lots of really interesting things.
You can get an imperfect diamond that might have a sapphire embedded in it, which I've seen, and it's gorgeous.
Diamonds are graded on a 12-point sliding scale ranging from flawless to included. But for colored gems, it is almost unheard of to find a stone that could be considered flawless.
People understand diamonds and they don't expect to see anything with their eye in a diamond, that they come to expect that same characteristic in colored gemstones, and it just doesn't exist in the world of colored gemstones. Color itself results from the presence of trace elements. So from the very start, you're going to have more inclusions.
As a result, colored stones are held to different clarity standards than diamonds.
With diamonds, there's a very precise grading system. With colored gemstones, there is no universally accepted grading system, and each category of gemstone is different in terms of what is acceptable.
In general, when judging clarity, colored gems fall into three broad categories.
In category 1, those gems form under the gentlest of geologic conditions. You don't expect to see something with your naked eye. Then there's category 2. They form under more difficult geologic conditions. It is not at all uncommon to see minor things with the naked eye.
The third category of colored gemstones form under the most violent geologic conditions. Therefore, they are more prone to have cracks and other features readily visible to the naked eye.
Emerald is the classic example of this. And in fact, when one sees a large, deep green emerald, and they don't see anything with the naked eye, the first thing people wonder is, gee, I wonder if it's real, because we are so accustomed to the fact that emeralds do have inclusions that are usually visible.
Typically, the more inclusions in a stone, the lower the price. But these tiny imperfections are also what give each individual gem its own distinct personality.
The great jeweler on Fifth Avenue in New York City, Harry Winston, he would describe the emerald inclusions as a garden, and he would use the French word, le jardin, the garden. It just sounded so romantic. So he turned this feature around into a plus.
The third C, color, may seem self-explanatory, but it actually encompasses a wide range of characteristics.
The color of a gemstone is given by 3 parameters. The hue, the impression of body color that we get, the tone, how light or how dark that color may be, and the saturation, how vivid or pure the color may be. A gemstone will be more valuable the purer the color.
But pure color, like perfect clarity, is a standard that nature rarely achieves.
There's no such thing as a pure spectral green or a pure spectral red in nature or blue. The color is always modified by some other color. For example, when we think of rubies, we can think of purplish red rubies, or some are more slightly orangey red, more fire-orangey red. When we think of blue sapphires, some of the blues have a faint green component to the blue. Some have a slight purple component to the blue. Some are really close to a pure blue. But none is absolutely pure blue. No stone is a pure green. So you're always having to judge the modifier. How much is the color altered by the presence of another color?
A stone's color isn't always consistent either.
Nature doesn't just go and blow color evenly throughout a stone. So you have to also evaluate something called zoning or distribution of color. Some gems are more prone to having colorless zones. Sapphire is one, amethyst is one, citrine is one.
Some gems can also combine more than one distinct color in a single crystal. Called multicoloring, the phenomenon is common in many different varieties of tourmaline, with some examples showing as many as 15 different colors. Australia's Gemfield region also produces an unusual multicolored sapphire.
The unique part about this sapphire deposit here at central Queensland is we get all the colours. We do get pink and purple, we don't get a lot, but we get, you know, all the lovely greens and yellows and what we call party colour, which is a sapphire which is sort of half blue and half yellow.
Whether it's a rich red ruby or stunning blue tanzanite, what color is right for the consumer is largely a matter of personal taste. But before you buy, be sure to look at the stone under different types of light, because the light environment can greatly affect a colored gemstone's appearance.
Fluorescent lighting, the light itself is very heavy on the blue-violet end, and there's no red-orange component in the light. That's going to affect blue stones, and it's going to affect red stones. Red stones it frequently affects adversely. So you have to ask yourself, are you wearing this all the time? Are you wearing it only in the evening? Are you wearing it mostly in the day? What type of lighting are you likely to be wearing it in? And look at the color of that stone in that type of light and make sure you like it.
The fourth C, cut, represents the next major stage in a gemstone's journey from formation to finished product. And since the vast majority of gems are cut in a handful of centers around the world, cutting often accounts for most of the actual mileage in a stone's trip.
A lot of the semi-precious gemstones are cut in China and in India. There are a lot of the sapphire and ruby are cut in Thailand.
Most diamonds, depending on their size and quality, are cut in one of just a handful of places around the globe.
India will take care of a lot of the small diamonds, the melee diamonds that are labor intensive. Israel takes care of a lot of the fancy cut diamonds. Belgium takes care of little larger diamonds, and New York usually takes care of the bigger diamonds. China has really been up and coming in terms of a diamond cutting facility.
Wherever the work is done, the way a gem is cut is generally dictated by the geometry of the stone.
Oftentimes, gemstones will be cut according to the crystal structure. In other words, we want to maintain as much weight on that piece of stone, on that gemstone, that is going to be maintaining the most value to it. So, for example, emeralds are usually cut in an emerald cut. In particular, the Colombian emerald, because that grows in a long crystal. So they will cut it in a square or rectangular format to maintain the most weight on there.
Sapphires and rubies, because of the way the rough occurs, are usually cut in what we call a cushion cut, which is sort of a square with rounded corners.
The geometry of the rough, however, isn't the only thing a skilled cutter takes into account. How a stone is cut can often enhance a gem's other defining characteristics, particularly color.
People who are skilled cutters cut to maximize the color and the beauty of the color. So if the basic rough crystal is a little bit light, you might cut the stone a little deeper, a little more weight in the bottom to intensify that color so it faces up with a richer color.
Ruby, it may show a more vivid red in one direction and a paler pink on the other direction. So it is in the skill of the cutter to orient it so that it will show the best color.
A skillful cut can even trick the eye when it comes to size.
I've seen rubies and sapphires, for example, where you can have a 2-carat stone here and a 1-carat stone here, and you can ask the consumer which is the largest, and all of them will say the 1 carat, because the 1 carat was cut shallower, the 2 carat was cut deeper.
It really relies on a person's experience, and some of them have a lifetime of experience of cutting just that one gemstone. Whether it's a ruby or a garnet, they cut that stone year after year, and you find that they have just such a knack for looking at a piece of rough and determining what shape is going to be the best and produce the best color, the best clarity, and the most beautiful stone that will come out of that.
The cut, however, isn't the only way to improve a gemstone's beauty and value. Over the centuries, man has developed a wide variety of both traditional and high-tech methods to improve a stone's clarity and color. One of the oldest methods of gem enhancement dates all the way back to the age of the pharaohs. Using a technique still used today, the ancient Egyptians discovered that rubbing emeralds with oil improved both their beauty and durability.
Emerald has been routinely oiled for centuries. They're prone to little fractures. When light goes through and hits those fractures and gets scattered, it can cause whitish areas throughout the stone. By putting a colorless oil into those cracks, it provides a medium through which the light now travels through. So it eliminates that whitishness.
Another centuries-old technique, detailed in ancient Indian manuscripts, applies searing heat to sapphires and rubies.
In Sri Lanka, it's been an ancient tradition to actually take some of the sapphire and ruby rough and put it in coconut husks and throw it in the fire.
The flames not only improve the stone's color, heat can also make the stone look brighter.
Raising it to 1700 degrees or higher, you will actually find that it oftentimes will not only improve the color of that gemstone by driving off the secondary color, the off color, but it'll also improve the clarity as well. Some of that silk or haziness actually kind of melts or disappears there.
Virtually all ruby and sapphire sold in most jewelry stores for decades now has been subjected to this routine heating process to improve the color.
Other gems typically subjected to heat treatments include zircon, aquamarine, and tanzanite. More modern methods employ lasers or even radiation to enhance clarity and color.
Bombarding the gemstone with particles is the main way in which the gemstone is altered.
All gemstones entering into the United States market are regulated by the government. And if a gemstone is irradiated, then it's required to go through this cool down period where it then is no longer a danger to us.
High-tech treatment techniques and modern mining methods have greatly increased the supply of gems, which in many cases has also reduced their price. The result has transformed gems from a rare luxury only the rich could afford into something millions of middle-class consumers can enjoy.
There's a large demand, especially global demand, when you look at the burgeoning middle classes in China and India, for example. There are a lot of people that want gemstones.
To meet that rising demand, prospectors and buyers scour the globe searching for new sources of gems. The quest touches every continent. No place is too far or too remote.
When we went to Vietnam, they said, okay, do you want to go to the mines? And we said, yes. Well, it was a car ride till the road ended. Then when the road ended, it was, we got on motorcycles, it was back of motorcycles, and then we drove over little bridges, streams, through hills and rocks and everything else. We couldn't drive a motorcycle anymore. Then we hit the mountain, and it was, a climb to the top that was hours long. So that I wasn't in shape for that by any means, but would I do it again? Absolutely. Because you're going to the source.
But the never-ending search for gems is, in many ways, a race against time.
There are a lot of gemstones in Brazil, in Madagascar, in China, and other places around the world that produce some great quality stones, but it's not a bottomless pit. That mine has a pocket there, and it produces that certain amount of material. When that's gone, it's gone.
Demand for certain gems so far outpaced supply that if we had to rely on what the mines were producing in whatever quality it was alone, no one today would be wearing blue sapphires or rubies.
Luckily, science and technology has increased the supply of colored gems. Many of the gems sold today don't begin their journey deep underground. Instead, they start out in a laboratory. Gem crystals grown in a lab are known as synthetics. Available in an array of colors and used in a variety of applications, synthetics typically cost much less than stones found in nature. They are not, however, fakes.
A synthetic diamond or colored gem is physically and chemically identical to the one created by nature. The chemicals used are identical. The stone is essentially the same thing except In a synthetic, it's created in a laboratory, it can be mass-produced, you can control the factors, versus the one that's made by nature.
Most synthetic gems are produced by one of two techniques, both of which were developed in the late 1800s. The flux method was developed by French chemist Edmond Frémy in 1877, though it was not commercially available until the mid-1900s.
When gemstones are grown through the flux process, what is done is to use another material to lower the point at which the nutrients that are going to go into the formation of the synthetic gem are molten. And that material is called the flux.
Commonly used to create synthetic emeralds and diamonds, the chemical ingredients are melted at very high pressures in a platinum crucible. When the molten material cools, crystals will form. Repeated over and over, the process can yield large stones.
The flux techniques produce the more expensive type of synthetics because they more resemble the way in which nature works.
The resulting diamonds and emeralds look identical to natural stones, but there are differences in the way they are grown. And those differences leave telltale signs. For example, microscopic traces of the flux will appear as inclusions in the stone.
Within a synthetic emerald formed by the flux process, this will live like platinum platelets within the emeralds.
The second method for making synthetic stones, flame fusion, also leaves telltale signs that a trained gemologist can easily spot. Developed by the French chemist Auguste Verneuil, the process is primarily used to produce synthetic sapphire and ruby.
It drops a powdered oxide, the chemical components, through a very, very hot flame onto a spinning rod. When it goes through the flame, it melts. It hits the rod, it recrystallizes.
Actually, as it cools down on the rod, it hardens into ruby or sapphire, for example. These boules, as they are known, grow quickly and can be quite large.
They are truly very inexpensive and they are used for costume jewelry mostly.
Under a microscope or a 10-power loupe, their synthetic origin is readily apparent.
You can see curved patterns. Curved stria are common in ruby. They look like the grooves in a record. Or curved color banding can be seen in flame fusion blue sapphire.
In addition to rubies and sapphires, synthetic spinel can also be made using the flame fusion process.
Spinel comes in every color, well, just about every color, and it became one of the most frequently used stones to simulate, to imitate other gemstones.
The latest synthetic gems can easily deceive the untrained eye, but scientists have also developed the means to spot them. While modern technology can recreate a gemstone's beauty and brilliance, no lab can capture the mystery or the romance of the real thing.
It's the whole package that surrounds that. It's that sense of adventure really makes the value of that gemstone so much more.
In other words,